I'm sorry for asking you here like this.
Oh no, it isn't a problem. I actually find it refreshing to be asked to the student council room.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like when you get lonely, you can just say, "Can myself come to the student council office, please?"
Although it's somewhat nerve-wracking as well.
I think I'm a bit nervous myself. Anyway, I wanted to apologize. I'm really sorry for everything.
What do you mean?
You know, how I blamed you for Kamoshida's sexual harassment? Well, I wanted to apologize for that. I've honestly been meaning to this whole time.
Takamaki-san.
I realized later that Shiho was calling out for me, and I wasn't there to help her. I didn't want to admit my own guilt. So I took it out on you, Nijima-senpai. I'm very sorry.
Hey, there is no need for that. In fact, I think the two of us are pretty similar.
Huh?
I was unable to save anyone. Not Suzui-san, and not any of Kanashiro's victims. I kept telling myself I wasn't at fault because I was simply following orders. But that was all a lie. It felt like I would be admitting my own worthlessness had I not shifted the blame off of myself. Fear of that worthlessness was probably why I acted so harshly toward you and your friends. I'm deeply sorry as well.
I see. In that case, wanna call it even?
Even? You're right. How about we leave this conversation in the past?
Oh, but one more thing. You're not worthless, Nijima-senpai. You were a bit reckless, but you're the reason we found a way into Kanashiro's palace. And you even obtained the power to change people's hearts. You did that all yourself, Nijima-senpai.
That way of thinking is very much like you, Takamaki-san. When you confronted me about Suzui-san, I realized how dishonest and small I was. You're always very direct. That's what helped me finally realize the error of my ways. It turns out I'm a little slow on the uptake at times. Hey, can I call you On?
Yeah. I'm going to do the same. Makoto. Ah, that's so embarrassing.
Yeah, this is another one of those conversations in a translated piece of Japanese media that, it can be a little confusing if you don't know about Japanese naming and honorific conventions.
How about we get something to eat before we go home for the night?
Oh, I know a place. There's a crepe shop at Central Street that totally stuffs their crepes.
Do you want to split one?
Let's each get a whole one, and then we can go half and half on those.
Oh, yes, let's. After school today, right?
After school today, huh? Well, it's time for one of my favorite details. Also, Mr. Ushimaru is here. Oh, yet another one of these conversations. Yeah, so the whole, son, senpai thing, you're kind of obliged to do that for people older than you at school. We can't do that. Nah, yeah, we can do that. Everyone's like, what?
Hey, are you listening?
Okay, I'm gonna mash the control stick again. And see if I get the dodge again. Okay, I did. Right. It could still just be luck, or it could be higher proficiency.
Hey!
But if there is a consistent way to get this, it's very good for getting increased charm. And it might mean that a lot of guides are not entirely right with how they spend their time raising charm. So like I was saying, one of my favorite details in this game that I only realized recently, also we've got the deadline starting right now, but I'll get to that later. And yeah, mementos are still possible. We've got 18 days. We have quite a while. But, no, not the messages. If we go to Shibuya Central Street, Ann and Makoto are actually there getting crepes. I don't know if this is a royal edition or not, or if this was also in the original, but I think this is such amazing attention to detail. Also, I only found out relatively recently, but Awa mode only means with ice cream in America. It actually means like, I think it just means like, you know, all the rage or like popular otherwise. But for some reason in America it means with ice cream. And so after that, and after buying all the drinks, except the Kichijoji ones yet, I guess I'll get those later, I'm actually going to go back into school because today we're going to be seeing Maruki. Also, yeah, may as well talk to this guy if he's on the way. Oh yes, he could even be right inside our head. How stupid. But yeah, anyway, we're going to be going to talk to Maruki today. There's basically a lot of stuff that I want to fit into the next couple of parts because for reasons, we're actually not going into the palace until the 26th. Now, I honestly wish I could go earlier, but the problem is that there are a couple of things that are happening in the guide in the next few days that I really don't want to postpone.
Thank you so much.
And yeah, we'll see what those are in a moment. It'll make sense, trust me.
Now.
So I believe this is actually the last rank of Counselor we can do for quite a while, because rank 6 is plot locked until later. I think I know what this rank up is. I could just take cash.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, this is the one I was thinking of. So, you may be able to see where this is going. Yeah, logically, the one cookie container would probably taste better.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna call it something like that. Yeah, this is why he's about to mention this. Yep, limited edition merchandise, you know, collector's editions, all of that. FOMO, fear of missing out. They're getting played. In a sense, I wonder if that's a kind of almost a meta jab, because this game definitely did have collector's editions. I still kind of wish that I got the one that had, wow, now I'm falling for the same psychological trick, but I kind of wish that I got the one that that came with the SHUJIN bag replica. I did mention that earlier. But yeah, this is kind of like how sometimes my favorite takeaway meals tend to taste better if I go a while without having them. Like, if I have the same thing, like, once every week, it tends to start tasting worse. But if I, you know, only have it, like, once every 2 or 3 weeks, then it seems a lot better. My senses lied to me. I love this dialogue option, but this one's also pretty funny. Hey, as long as it tastes good.
For example...
Yeah, I suppose so. I still really don't like the idea of being taken advantage of in a psychological way and then, you know, being all ignorance is bliss and not actually knowing about it. I mean, I'm not entirely sure exactly how you would do that.
Sorry.
Going back into that woe is me act, I see. I mean, honestly, that's kind of the point. Huh, well, just about every confidant seems to feel that way. Strong bond of friendship with Maruki. Pretty specific there. Oh, okay, we have mindfulness now. That can be pretty useful, especially since, as I said in the last part, this palace is pretty long. So having an SP buffer like that is helpful. I said this back in Maruki's confidant profile, but you can technically just repeatedly enter battles while you're on low SP until this triggers, just to like effectively have infinite SP.
Well, see.
I wonder who on the localization team came up with Donut Worry. Probably the same person who came up with Goho M in Persona 4. Which was a similar pun in Japanese, so I wonder if the Donut Worry was too. I mean, you know, sometimes academic discussions can be, relaxing too. You might be a better counselor than I am. Thought Bubble would certainly agree. That's actually kind of an interesting statement from Maruki, implication-wise. Might be another reason why I like him so much as a character. But this evening is another case of, a free daytime but a rainy night. Hey, more customers mean you get paid more, right? Oh yeah, now, I seem to remember this arc in particular, and I mean, it's kind of understandable given that you're being threatened and blackmailed by a mob boss, but this arc in particular gets pretty pestery with these nighttime conversations, like on the phone chat, so yeah, that's something that I do find a little bit, yeah, not the greatest in this arc. I mean, it sort of is, but at the same time, you know, Kaneshiro was exploiting teenagers anyway. Like, to be honest, if we'd stumbled upon this ourselves, we probably would have decided to go after him, your input or not. And speaking of, like, what this arc does and pestering, so something may happen in the next few days. Basically, you get forced into the hideout if you don't go, like, early. And if that happens, we'll be getting the cutscene for, like, the start of this, palace arc. And if that does happen, I'll probably be cutting it out and actually moving it to the part where I first start the palace, just because, you know, it makes more sense that way. It is quite strange hearing something so positive from Yuji.
When your position changes, your view of the world changes too. It's a shift in cognition.
Yeah, that's exactly what Maruki was telling us.
In any case, we're in big trouble if we can't change Kaneshiro's heart. Let's do this.
Tonight, though, we're doing something that's going to really help us change Kaneshiro's heart.
Now then.
You know, we really should avoid the fast food restaurants in this city now, because it seems like they're having scandals and food poisoning incidents all the time. But yeah, what we're going to be doing tonight is, we're going to be showing what Shinjuku can do for you. Also, now that Shinjuku's been unlocked, Mishima hangs out here. I can't imagine why. But one of the first things that Shinjuku can do for you is it has more SP drinks. And guess what? It's not just one set of SP drinks. Yep, there are 2 SP vending machines in Shinjuku. The second thing that it can do for you is this bookstore. It sells a lot more than adult books. It sells things like Flowerpedia, which helps you with the flower part-time job. It gives you more information on what those flowers count as for customer requests. But we want to buy The Craft of Cinema and the ABCs of Crafting. because both of these are going to be very, very helpful to our social stats. Now, the next thing that we want to do is, this is going to be expensive. Also, yeah, Morgana hints that there actually might be more books here that are available as you go through the game. The books in Shinjuku in particular are actually very, very important. But yeah, here, we're going to buy 6 Mega Fertilizer. So, oh boy, we're getting kind of poor, and we're going to be even poorer soon. And we're going to be getting even more SP drinks, so I guess we'll be richer in that department. I want to check out what's here, though, because I think if you go here... Yep, you do unlock it as a fast travel point.
Wow.
Oh, okay, this is another of my favorite movies. However...
Well, what's up?
We're not going to be seeing it alone, because if we wait a little longer, we'll be able to see that with Makoto, and she really likes that film. So we'll be getting, you know, a unique event for seeing it then. Now, it looks like another Justine and Caroline event is available. According to the guide, we're not going to be doing that just yet.
That's really funny.
May as well sell some of my clothes here, though. Yakisoba Pan is the next request from totally not the shady trader Sakai. And that means we'll need to buy that from school on a Friday. So it's Tuesday now. You'll just want to remember that. I like how his name is Insatiable Child. But yeah, today we're actually going to be playing billiards, and as I said, this is going to really help us in Kanashiro's Palace, because now that we've unlocked the next billiards rank up,
What do you want to do?
we'll also get a random social stat increase from this, which, depending on things, may be good, although I keep ending up getting stats that I don't need.
Whoa.
Oh, hey, Makoto's here this time.
So that's what you mean.
Yeah, I still don't know the whole logic behind the technique of this, but yes, I'll need to make a difficult shot to clear this. And this is where you need that 50,000 yen, give or take, jump cue. Okay, that's pretty stylish.
Nice.
You did it.
I knew you could do it.
And from that, we get Technical Rank 3. The reason why I didn't want to go into Kanashiro's Palace immediately, well, one of them is this. Kanashiro's Palace is very heavily dependent on technical damage in Royal, so having rank 3 before we go in there is going to be really helpful, mainly the knockdown rate plus. You saw how annoying the lack of knockdown was being in the Makoto tutorial fights. Yeah, it looks like I got a knowledge increase from that one. We need to be able to pull off this one really advanced shot in order to raise technical to rank 4. The, I don't know, I can't speak French, Masse shot or something. And yeah, with that we get Billiards Magician. We have to read that to get to technical rank 4. And also you need to have a high proficiency stat.
Bye.
So we may not be doing this for a while, but it's definitely very useful to remember because, yeah, again, you really want Technical Rank 4. Technical Rank 4 is the maximum, and that gives guaranteed knockdown. Mafia's still out in full force, I see. So I just realized I forgot to do something yesterday, but I can probably do it today. It involves renting another DVD. Famous fortune teller in Shinjuku, huh?
I know what you're talking about.
I know what you're talking about. Well, I do too. Pretty good. Her predictions come true. Yeah, she can divine your destiny and tell you who your soulmate is. It's definitely not, related to any kind of scam or pyramid scheme or anything like that. Yeah. So we are going to be paying her a visit soon. But, we're not going to be doing much there until after this palace.
Good morning.
Oh, hi there.
I've been thinking a lot about personas and palaces since yesterday.
Let me guess, you rented everything on Carl Jung that's in the library.
That floating bank really reflects Kanashiro's personality.
Yeah, he thinks he hovers above the masses, he thinks he's untouchable, he thinks he's got a giant vacuum cleaner sucking up all their money. It fits on multiple levels.
He's flying around so no one can trace his steps. He doesn't trust anyone.
Oh, and that too.
I bet security's tight in there too. That's why we should get moving soon. Why don't we go to the palace today?
I wish we could, but tonight something kind of important is happening that's very hard to reschedule.
Understood. I'm sure you have your reasons as the leader.
Yes, we do.
I'll leave my schedule open after school, so talk to me anytime.
Oh yeah, about Makoto leaving her schedule open after school, there's a really infamously funny line that she has regarding that we might see later. It pertains to trying to talk to her on a non-school day. Yeah, so again, like, I understand why this logically makes sense, but I kind of feel like they could have cut down on these. There are a lot of these phone conversations while this palace is active, even, like, after you've sent the calling card. It's kind of a bit excessive, in my opinion. And they're all really just saying the same thing. Yeah, we're kind of worried, but we have to change his heart so he doesn't leak those pictures. Though I should mention, the missed deadline game over for this palace is probably the darkest in the game. The first two were pretty bland and kind of, you know, not really all that interesting. Oh boy, this one is very dark and describes what happens in pretty graphic detail. Okay, so yeah, as I was saying, we need to rent a DVD.
What would you like?
So, oh, we have some new things available. Not So Hot Betsy, ICU, Jailbreak, The Running Dead, that one's pretty obvious. But yeah, we're going to be renting ICU here. We're actually going to be doing a lot of things that raise kindness right now. I suppose while I'm here I can talk to the sleazers. Well, you know, with all the mafia around, you probably should be avoiding bars anyway. So today we're going to be inviting Arn to a generic hangout scene. Actually, wait, I was wrong. Not actually generic. You'll see. I think this is actually the first time, and yeah, if you haven't, you know, done the treasure, you can just say we have plenty of time here to hang out with Confidants. Once you have reached the treasure, though, you have to send the calling card before you can hang out with party members again. But yeah, I don't think my bond with Arn will deepen just yet, and this gives us an opportunity to invite Arn to a hangout spot.
Yeah.
So you have the choice, let's go somewhere fun, let's have tea as just a generic spend time dialogue, but let's go somewhere fun lets you choose a hangout spot. And for specific confidants, if you invite them to specific places, you'll get a unique scene that gives you a room decoration. Harajuku is the one for Arn and the Lover's Confidant. Of course, you need to have Harajuku unlocked in order to do this,
Let's get going.
which we got earlier via accepting that optional hangout.
Hey.
Yeah, that sucks. I remember freaking out over thinking Xenoblade 3 was sold out where I live, but it actually wasn't. There were physical copies available, and I got one. So yeah is the best option here.
Yeah.
And there we go, we are able to get on to the next rank up. There are actually some times that the ACE guide intentionally chooses like non-optimal options for confidants just to make sure that they get these optional scenes, because some of these can actually be missed if you do confidants too quickly.
Oh yeah.
Interested in this stuff, huh? Well, I mean, probably not the best to admit to being interested in this, but I'm certainly interested, in exactly which idol this is. Not in that way, specifically, but I mean more in the sense of, it's a reference to a past game, and I'm all for that.
Ah, you're back.
Yeah, like, I'm personally a shipper of, you and Rise in Persona 4. I wouldn't say that Rise is, like, my waifu or anything, though. And yeah, this is why I was not able to go to the palace early, because you have to wait for Ryuji to request rank 7 at night. And now here, we're actually going to say respond later.
Oh?
Because this means you do get a chance to do the crossword, and we're going to feed the plant too. But then we can go to Chariot rank 7, okay? Exchange all over the world. Oh, replace the franc. Replace a lot of things, actually. That would be the euro. I actually learned Italian in primary school, I guess early that they were still using lira, so I kind of still learnt lira. Also, this, as always, the crossword is pretty blatantly, I believe that would be wallet, pretty blatantly relevant to the current arc that's going on. And yeah, this one is the 2R's currency. Okay, yeah, another word that comes from Latin, flowing. Oh yeah, it would be the same origin as currents, like as in like a river current. Rock shell. Yeah, so one of the kanji for money in Japan actually originates from the kanji for shell. And I think that's made a lot of people think that
All right.
I see.
that in early times Japan used shells as currency. And let's see what's on TV. The Asakusa Sky Tree, huh? Really high up observation deck. I don't think we've actually been there. But yeah, as I said, we're going to be feeding the plant, and then we'll be seeing Ryuji. So yeah, normally I would like to go to the palace early, but I'm not really wanting to put off Ryuji rank 7 because I don't know when is the next time he'll be able to... Oh! Interesting. That happened earlier than it should have, I think.
All right.
Yes!
Or later than it should have. I don't know whether we should have had kindness rank 3 yet or not, but anyway, that happened at least off the guide. Akechi, your texting is not encouraging the shippers with that wording. I mean, it is encouraging the shippers, but I mean, not helping the shippers, I should say. But yeah, we're going to be going to meet with Ryuji. I've seen some guides say that if you respond to people's texts immediately and don't put them off, like I did there, you get a slight bonus to your, confidant points that day, but, I mean, I'm not sure if that's entirely true, and even if it is, I don't think it's really necessary here. Mochiyaki is kind of like okonomiyaki. It's like fried batter with various toppings and vegetables inside it. What is it with Ryujin going to the bathroom? We're basically pulling a Makoto here, just without, you know, getting yourself kidnapped. Yeah, you seem like the kind of person who'd do that. Maybe they're using that Maruki technique and making it limited edition. Well, I mean, that's true. I mean, with Humpty Dumpty around, we're still in some pretty dark times. I mean, yeah, don't punish them for his actions. Okay, this is the part we need to hear. And maybe they'll make a biopic about me. Oh yeah, pretty much exactly. That's a fellow teacher at SHUJIN, praising this guy for doing this. Yep, still, yep, dark times for SHUJIN are continuing even without Kamoshida. Yeah, he's getting pretty ambitious right now. I don't like the sound of that. Ah, playing the students against each other, huh? Ah, so you were the one who did that. So that was all part of Yamauchi's plan. I'm guessing that is parent-teacher association. You know, we really should just record this conversation for posterity and just use it as evidence of just how horrible all of the SHUJIN faculty is except Kawakami. Ah, just like Ryuji did, huh? Yeah, I see why they call this guy a Mini-Kamoshida.
Damn it.
Yeah, it's Takeishi, not Takeshi. I think I mostly have Takeshi in my head because Takeshi is Brock's Japanese name in the Pokemon anime.
Hey.
I mean, true, unless you're running, like, relays.
And again.
But you still have to look out for each other. Exactly. So you were kind of thinking about leaving them in the past at the start of this Confidant, but now we're trying to save them. I like that this is actually the best option here.
Yeah.
And here's an unvoiced for real. Fortunately, I miss a lot of those. In hindsight, I probably shouldn't have done the for real count, but it's fun at least. Oh yeah, but this is very important because we have insta-kill now. It's probably not going to trigger that much in Kanashiro's Palace, but in Mementos, yeah, this is going to be making us a lot of money.
Wait.
I've already pretty much talked at length about how good insta-kill is in Royal and how bad it was in the original game. In fact, I haven't actually fully explained because we hadn't had the concept of recruiting shadows through negotiation introduced. The way that insta-kill worked back in vanilla P5 is that you would instantly win against weak enemies when ambushing, but you would only get a persona. You would not get experience or money. And usually that just wasn't useful because you just get a weak persona that is kind of hard to fusion fodder given that triple fusion isn't a thing in this game. But yeah, Ryuji has to handle this one a little bit more subtly than he did with Kamoshida. But you know, let's not use force. Maybe they'll understand. Yeah, but it seems like we're still not ready to rank up. Kind of a shame that we actually did billiards last night then, because maybe the extra points with Ryuji from billiards, if we did it now, could have increased his rank. Speaking of billiards, you actually have to go 5 times for a Thieves' Den award, and that's 1 more time than you need to max your technical rank, so that's a little frustrating.
Hey!
So okay, we have a seat, and that's a good thing we bought those Shinjuku books, because now we can read The Craft of Cinema. Thankfully, it only requires one session. One session books are pretty great for, train rides.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be French. Lousy seniors with their lousy French, as they corrected that line too in the PSP version of Persona 3 Portable. But yeah, see, this is a thing, like, it's been a long time since I actually understood, like, film techniques and studied all of that. Like, there's just so much that goes into film, like, the camera angles, the shots and stuff, and, like, and there's so many different ways to, like, you know, it sounds weird, but, like, criticize films, too. Like, I'm more into, like, looking at the plot and the writing and, the acting, but, you know, there's also things like shot composition, you know, use of color, and all of that. Whether there's somebody with a wristwatch walking past in a Gladiator film. Apparently that's an actual thing in the film Gladiator. Teru Teru Bozu, I mostly know that because I think that's what Castform is based on. It's that kind of weather doll they use to, like, in Japan to, like, sort of wish for good weather. But yeah, Castform is definitely based on that. And yeah, Bozu means monk, which has led to a weird amount of controversy with what Sturm in Advance Wars' Japanese name was supposed to be, because some people think it's Hell Bozu, as in Hell Priest, but I always thought that it was Herr Bose, which is German for Mr. Evil.
Here's a question.
Huh, yes. I'm surprised that in class they're letting you use the P5 version of this card that has her looking at a porn mag. A psychic, a shaman, the answer here is a pope, and I would have already got into this in Makoto's bio, but yes, Pope Joan is who the Priestess Arcana is actually based on. She is the original Priestess Arcana. Or Johanna, yes. But as I said back then, yeah, she probably wasn't real and was probably just an anti-church symbol.
Nice going.
It almost feels like our cognition must be affecting the classroom questions though, because they always seem to be exactly relevant to whatever's going on in the story at the moment. Huh. That sounds like Mulan if it ended very badly. And well, Morgana says pretty relatable things sometimes. Now, are we being forced in? No, we're not being forced into the hideout today. Okay, then. We have 3 texts, though. Takemi, and Shibuya people watching. That's actually what we're going to be doing today, though. Huh, it's rainy though. Wasn't there like a special rainy day thing in like Yongen that I've never actually bought before, so maybe I should try? No, I think that's at a different time of year. Oh, I just realized, I think we're gonna see one of my favorite just generic voice grunts in the entire game.
It's you.
Not that one. So, request to hang out with Yusuke when there is a deadline currently active.
Why?
I don't know why. I just love this, because if you do that, he just gives this incredibly melodramatic, why? It's just so good. Just one of my favorite things from this game. Not one of those weird things that maybe only I think is their favorite. Okay, good, I have Regent. So, like a lot of things in Yusuke's Confidant, or to do with
Please hear me
Yusuke,
out.
we're about to see an exploitable reaction line here. So yes, a lot of people have painted over that canvas as blank, and have this screenshot as a template, so someone can just put their meme there, and then have, I would like your honest opinion, if you would. But, honestly, I think this is really good, personally. It's novel. It's enigmatic. Well, with enigmatic, when painting, it just makes me think of a line from Where in Time Has Come to San Diego, where, I think it's about the Mona Lisa, where, about the smile, Leonardo da Vinci goes, it's mysterious, enigmatic, marvelous. Yeah, in Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego. Yeah, that's where I get a lot of my history from. That Age of Empires. William Shakespeare is voiced by Charles Martinet in that game. Fun fact. Carmen Sandiego, I mean. I mean, honestly, painting mementos is not a bad idea. I wonder what a painting like this of Tartarus would look like.
Tell the truth.
I mean, actually, technically speaking, Chidori does that. The discourse will be fascinating. When did the term discourse come to mean violent online arguments? Because, like, normally it just means discussion. I don't know when that happened.
Thank you.
You know, be careful taking that painting back to your dorm in the rain. So I wonder if, like, if rain, like, kind of, you know, ruined the paint job a little bit, it might even make it look, even better. Might one of those that would benefit from that kind of effect.
See you.
I was quiet for the second half of that because I didn't want to talk too much. I talked over it a bit too much in the first half. Raw, unfiltered opinion. Just like She-Hulk with Arn and her drawings. You know, sometimes I feel like that way when I do recordings. In this case, yeah, you're already doing enough is actually the better option here. Use case over dramaticness is still great sometimes. I mean, he's in a lot of ways kind of one of the more contentious characters in this game. Not in terms of like what he does, but more in terms of whether people think that he's just kind of mostly comic relief. Article? Wait, what? This is the first time hearing about this. Oh, right! Boy M tells all. Rampant abuse in the Kamoshida case. Also, he thought we were on a date and it was hilarious. Probably. Yes, we may have thrown him to the wolves earlier. It was a worthy sacrifice in the name of getting Kanashiro's name. He isn't doing us any harm unless he said some revealing things in the interview.
That article. Do you think the reporter we met at Crossroads could have written it?
Yeah.
Just as I thought. The author is listed as Ichigo Oya. I see. This article might end up being useful for us. If the palace ruler sees it and his cognition of the Phantom Thieves changes... Hey, we'd be missing out if we didn't use this to our advantage.
You sure about that?
If we have her paint us in a positive light, public opinion of us will change for the better.
I mean, that's good, but,
You should go try and get her to write some more articles about the Phantom Thieves.
Well, yeah, we'll see. Firstly, let me just check this. Actually, no, I needed to check this. This is important. Consider the following. Paying a machine fake money, ordering food without money. Which of these counts as fraud? The answer is ordering food without money. In some, like, countries, the specific name for this crime is defrauding an innkeeper. They still kept the wording from, like, medieval times. Huh, fake coins on a vending machine or out of the coin laundry is considered larceny.
For real?
Yeah, I've always loved the term dine and dash. I just thought that was kind of cool. But we're going to be heading back to Shinjuku because if we check here, we have Cheerful Fortune Teller and Oya as options that we have not actually started the Confidants of yet. And... oh no. They're here. I normally don't like cutting days in half, but because we're going to be starting a new Confidant, I thought that next time I would begin with that. That'll be the last part before we go back into the palace, so I'll see you all next time for a new Confidant, and in many people's opinion, the worst Confidant in the game. You'll see whether or not I agree, though, then.